Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to create your very unique calorie deficit, because I've been in my own fat loss phase lately and I've been posting how many calories I've been eating in a day, and a lot of people have been asking me like, oh, should I eat this much? And no, you should not copy the calories of a random stranger that you saw on the internet. You need to find your own calorie deficit that works for you, your unique body, your unique preferences, what's going on with you. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, when it comes to finding your unique calorie deficit, there is two ways that most people kind of recommend that you do it. Number one, calorie calculator. Super easy. You're going to go to Google and you're going to search calorie calculator. You're going to pull up, I just pulled up the first one that I saw. There are a million bajillion different calorie calculators. Everyone thinks that their calculator is the best. I think that they're all really great guesstimations. And our job is to get that initial number and then actually know what to look for to find out if that number is actually working for us, and actually knowing how to tweak that number as we go on. So I already put my information here. I'm about to be 26, so I just put 26. I'm female, I'm 5'6". As of this morning, I'm 131.2 pounds. And I would say that my activity level is daily exercise or intense exercise 3 to 4 times a week. I would do that to play it safe, because I feel like the most intense exercise that I do is leg day, and I only hit leg day 3 times a week. And then upper body, I wouldn't really consider super intense, even though I go hard. So I'm just going to put active. And then you click calculate. And here we go. This calorie calculator believes that I need to eat about 2,100 calories per day to maintain my weight, about 1,800 calories to lose half a pound per week, and about 1,600 calories if I'm looking to lose 1 pound per week. So that's how you do it, to do it the calorie calculator way. Before we talk about how to apply that number and know if it works for you, let me teach you how to do it the DIY way, which is the way that I do it. So I create for myself a spreadsheet, and it tells me what week of the phase that I'm in it is, what day of the week precisely, like what word day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, what day of the month it is. And then I have a place to put what my weight was for that day, how many calories I ate, how much protein I ate, how much fiber I ate. And then to the right of that, I have a column that tells me what was the average weight for that week. How many calories did I eat on average for that week? So what a lot of people don't understand is that our bodies will fluctuate every day. Yes, it will. You can't bypass that. It's just the way of the road. So when we're trying to observe fat loss, it's not about your weight dropping every single day. It's about how your weight is behaving over time. So how do we find our calorie deficit? DIY. I would pull up my chart like this, and I would input my weight, calories, protein, and fiber. So if you're a noob, it's okay to just track calories and protein. I like to make my clients always also track fiber, because if you're feeling super hungry, even though it feels like your calories are pretty high, it's most likely because you're not eating enough fruits and vegetables, babe. And you're probably not eating enough protein either, babe, because protein and veggies are some of the most satiating things that you can eat, and that should be included in your diet. So every day I wake up in the morning, before I eat or drink anything, I weigh myself on the scale. I like to weigh myself naked, but you can weigh yourself in your underwear, in your PJs. The goal is to keep every variable the same though. So if one day you weigh yourself and you're wearing a fur coat, and then the next day you weigh yourself and you're naked, you're not accounting for the discrepancy between wearing a fur coat and being naked. You know what I mean? So however you do it, just be consistent with it. So on Tuesday, I weighed 133 pounds. On Wednesday, I weighed 132.7. On Thursday, I weighed 131.9, so on and so forth. This is the important part. I'm going to take the average weight. I know how to use formulas on Google spreadsheets, but you can also do it by hand. If you don't remember how to take an average of something, all you have to do is add all the data points together and then divide by the number of data points you have. So for example, I have 6 total weigh-ins. I'm going to add all the weigh-ins together, 133 plus 132.7 plus 131.9, and then I'm going to divide by 6 to get the average. And I'm going to do that for week 1 and for week 2. Okay. Let me do it for calories too. Okay, so as you can see, from week 1 to week 2, my weight stayed about the same. So that tells me that I'm at a maintenance. If from week 1 to week 2, your weight drops, this is about almost a pound drop from week 1 to week 2, you're most likely in a deficit. If your weight goes up, so it went from 131.6 to 132, almost half a pound weight gain, I'm most likely in a surplus. Does that make sense? So what you're looking for to find your calorie deficit is that your weight is dropping by about half a pound to 1 pound on average from week 1 to week 2. Now here's a couple things that you should consider. Number 1, this is actually my real data, by the way, that I pulled from my current data. I'm currently 13 weeks into a fat loss phase, and currently I'm eating 1,600 calories to make my weight drop. If you are starting a fat loss phase eating that little calories, I don't care if you're 5 feet tall, bro. It would behoove you to do a reverse diet before you go into a deficit. Because when your calories are already low and you're going to have to lower them even further to create a deficit, and you're actually going to want to sustain that deficit for a substantial enough amount of time that you actually lose fat over time, it's just not going to be comfortable. You're going to be way too hungry. It probably might cause weight regain, probably might cause overeating. Just the chances of not great things happening long term is just higher, okay? So that's one thing that you should consider. Another thing that you should consider, there is no one magical calorie deficit number. The whole point of counting calories, the whole point of fat loss is that you're tracking your data to see how it drops, how it changes over time. There's a reason why there's a term called fat loss plateau, weight loss plateau. Why is it everyone hits a weight loss plateau? It's because as you become a smaller person, not only do you require less energy to keep you afoot because you're a smaller person, but your metabolism adapts and tries to slow down that fat loss because your body isn't excited that you're eating less. Your body is scared for you, and your body's metabolism will adapt to try and keep you alive. I already said it, but I'm going to harp on it again. You want to be able to start a fat loss phase with your calories high so that you have the wiggle room to be able to drop them over time. For instance, the first week of my fat loss phase, I entered a deficit eating 2,250 calories. Now, only 13 weeks in and 13 pounds down, does my food have to be at 1,600. And I'm not going to keep my food here for very long, probably only for another 3 weeks or so before I start my reverse. Cool? Because you should not be eating this little forever, guys. If you don't know how to do a reverse diet, I do have videos on my channel that go over that. Oh my God, I literally forgot the most important part. If you look at this data, it shows that my weight kind of stayed the same from week 1 to week 2. That means that I'm currently in a caloric maintenance. In order to create a deficit, I want to show you something. 1 pound of fat equals 3,500 calories. So if you want to lose 1 pound of fat per week, you're going to divide 3,500 by 7 days of the week, and you're going to get 500 calories. So you should be in a 500 calorie deficit per day if you want to lose 1 pound per week. If you want to lose half a pound per week, you should be in a 250 calorie deficit per day. Dude, 250 calories is like a protein bar. You just have to take out 1 protein bar out of your day. Or like, what is that? Like 2 apples or something. But what most people do is they'll create a 250 calorie deficit from food, and then they'll increase their activity by 250 calories burned. So when I first enter a fat loss phase, I'll drop my food by 250 and increase my steps to burn 250 extra calories per day. And you're not really going to know how many more steps you need to get in to burn 250 extra calories per day. You kind of just guesstimate. Good rule of thumb, start by adding 2,000 steps per day. Good rule of thumb, start by eating 250 less calories per day. And then every single time your weight plateaus from that point on, I like to drop anywhere between 100 and 200 calories at a time. I seem to respond best to dropping by 200 calorie increments after that initial calorie deficit creation. That's how you find your deficit. It's not just about finding a magical number that a calorie calculator spits out at you. It's about actually weighing yourself, actually tracking your calories closely, and making sure that you're losing half a pound to 1 pound of weight per week on average. In general, I would not recommend losing more than that unless you have a substantial amount of weight to lose. Being that unless you're 200 plus, in the 200 plus pound range, then you could stand to lose closer to 2 or more pounds per week. But again, as you would expect, the more weight you lose, the more your fat loss will and should slow down. So you might start by losing 2 pounds per week, but it's totally fine and normal if you start losing just 1 pound per week. Capiche? Okay, guys, I hope this was helpful. If it was, please let me know by liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing it with someone that you think could benefit from this information. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.